everyone, today I want to show you how to customize plain brads so they can match any paper that you have, so they'll match any project that you're doing with those papers absolutely perfectly. And I'm going to do this with the Mango Frost matte stack. This is by Die Cuts with a View. There are loads of absolutely gorgeous pattern papers here. And the brads that I'm going to make with this today, I'm going to show you in a project in another video, which I will link to. Okay, so let's get started. What you're going to need are some American Craft large brads. I've just got these in the white because I find that easiest to customise, because white tends to go with everything. So I'm going to get a couple of these out because I'm going to show you two different ways of doing these customised brads. Now, to match these brads for the size, I'm using a 5/8 of an inch punch, a 5/8 of an inch circle punch. But if you've got slightly smaller brads, you would need a slightly smaller circle punch. So I'm going to pick this design for my first one. It just so happens that these circles are pretty much perfectly sized for these brads, but you can do brads with whatever pattern you like. Let's pick another one. This one looks quite interesting. So this is a completely random pattern and we're going to make a brad to look like that, which is quite cute. To do the brads, you're going to need some sort of a piercing mat, just so you can stick your brads into something while they're drying. I'm going to use some glossy accents just to stick this down to the actual brad. First of all, you don't need much, just a little drop will do. And then just press it down into the brad. Now, as you can probably see, the card of the brad is really it sticks out quite a lot here. So what we need to do is just to sand that down so that it kind of blends in with the brad again. And let me just show you how I do that. I use just a sanding tool out of this basic grey precision file set, but you can use any sort of sanding tool that you have, including ones that you can get at your local DIY store. Now there's two ways of doing this. Let me just zoom in. You can sand it really lightly just so that you blend that paper in, but make sure you don't take the paint off the edge of the brad. Or you can sand it really quite hard and then deliberately sand the paint off the edge of the brad, so your brad has like a nice silver or metallic edge to it. But that's entirely personal preference. So for this one, I am literally just going to sand the paper to blend in with the brad because I want to keep that white edge. And so you can see that this is blended a lot better now. Okay, to finish this brad off, all we need to do now is to cover it in glossy accents. And what I do, first of all, is to go around the edge in glossy accents. Oops, bubble. And once you've gone all the way around the edge, just fill in the top. But first of all, just need to seat this in to my little foam piercing mat, because this is going to have to stay like this for a good hour or two, or preferably overnight, to dry. And I'm putting a real good amount of this glossy accents on because I do want that 3D dome effect on this brad. So just set that one aside to dry and we'll go on to the next technique. This technique is slightly quicker if you need the brad sort of like for a project you're making today rather than a project you're making in the future. And it just uses some ultra thick embossing powder. Now we start off doing the same thing, using the glossy accents to stick the pattern paper down to the top of the brad. Once it's dry, again just sand the edges just to blend that in. And again here you could sand it lightly like I'm doing to leave the white edge, or you could sand it quite hard and then take off all that paint and leave you with a nice metallic outline to your brad. Once you're happy with that, we can start to emboss it. I'm just going to zoom out a bit for this so you can see everything that I'm doing. Okay, all you need for this is some Versamark, a set of tweezers because this is going to get hot, and your ultra thick embossing powder and your heat gun. So all you need to do is completely cover the top of your brad, including the sides, with a Versamark ink. And then holding it with some tweezers or something to keep your hands away from the heat, just pick up the ultra thick embossing powder, just dab it into a pot of it, and then heat this with your heat tool. You're going to do this several times, so don't worry if it doesn't look very good on the first go. What you can do is when this is still hot from heat setting it, you can dip it straight back into the embossing enamel, but I don't actually find that works very well for me, so I just wait for it to cool a little and then go ahead and re-ink it with my Versamark and just repeat the process. Once you've done a couple of layers, what you want to do is just ink this top bit, not the sides, because you're trying to now build up the layers on the top. Okay, so once you've done several layers, I did 4 on this one, your brad is ready to go. So as soon as it's dry, you can just go ahead and use it. This is one I made yesterday using the first technique. This is just using the glossy accents. And on this brad, I sanded all of the paint off of the edge here. I think that gives a really professional finish to the brad, and you know, you get whatever paper you've chosen. In this case it was a really cute glittery one. So I think I prefer this one. This one's a speedier version that you can create and then use straight away. I don't think it's as neat a finish as this one, but you know, it's great if you're in a rush and you need a brad quickly and need a customized brad quickly. So there are 2 techniques for creating your own customized brads. I hope you enjoy them, and I'll see you next time. Bye!